But my wife is a Texan. And she is strong, and she was mad, and she was surrounded by love and support, and she was alive. And she kept her sense of humor. I remember at some point, early diagnosis, probably before surgery, some pollster called her. And she listened for a few moments, and then she said, "I'm sorry, I can't talk anymore. I have a brain tumor." And the rest of us were like, "You have a brain tumor card to play. Dude, it's like a golden ticket. You can probably fly free or something. Get into Disneyland." But things got better. But we all knew that we had to deal, eventually, in our own way, with our year. And so, this is how I dealt with it. And this is from the chapter called Serenity. My favorite Reinhold Niebuhr quote is not the one you might think. It's certainly not the one that is the most obvious and the one that waltzes with me on a daily basis, which would be the Serenity Prayer. But at this time in my life, I return constantly to what begins this way. Nothing that is worth doing can be achieved in our lifetime. Therefore, we must be saved by hope. I understand when people comment that my family approached our medical situation positively with lots and lots of jokes. As with most things in my life, what seemed ordinary and natural only begins to appear like a choice when I observe the alternatives. But we tend to joke anyway, and we don't pay much attention to alternatives. A lot of that is found in Mr. Niebuhr's comment about being saved by hope. And he continued, "Nothing we do, however virtuous, can be accomplished alone. Therefore, we are saved by love." Now there we can hang our hats. Find nobility or grace in your solo stuff, and you're bound to end up disappointed in yourself. We need somebody to walk with, somebody as a sounding board, somebody to look over our shoulders at the map and point out that it's upside down. This is where we've been saved, then. I can tell you a bunch of stories. No surprise. Over 3 decades plus of marriage. Funny stories, but also scary ones. And matter-of-fact stories about living together but not talking. Walking outdoors and wondering about coming back. Silent nights and really cold mornings. This hasn't been a cakewalk. And if you think we've had some sort of Disney relationship thing, then you would be mistaken. But we know how to love. And we know why, too. Love lubricates endurance. It keeps the inertia of long relationships intact. It keeps us from hitting an unmovable force that creates irreparable problems. Love means never saying stuff you can't take back, but taking it back anyway when you say it so that everybody can move on. And at the end, Niebuhr says, "Therefore we must be saved by the final form of love, which is forgiveness." Ultimately, all of this, all the jokes, the stiff upper lips and bravado, and digging our heels in and digging out of deep holes, is really about this. The world can be harsh. Fate can be bitter. Life can be unforgiving. But we can forgive life. We have to. We have to forgive the pain and the worry and the stress and the unfairness of what a friend described as life piling on. We have to move on and be receptive to small miracles. The alternative to that is something we all recognize, that bitter taste that some people we know seem to have, a sense that life has conspired and done it on purpose. Doesn't look like fun to me. This is what I've learned then. You need to love life, and you need to forgive it. There's no other way to move ahead. And that's also why I appreciate how Niebuhr carefully bookended hope and forgiveness. They're the same thing. And I can observe my courageous wife, who has been cut and anesthetized and probed enough for one lifetime, and who still forgives and loves, particularly me. And if you're a person of faith, as she is, you might embrace all of this. Skilled surgeons and early detection and good friends, remarkable children, a sober husband, along with the scars and bottles of pills that are now permanent, and even the rain that drips through a leaky roof that we haven't quite found the funds to fix yet. Hold up your arms and say, this is the day that the Lord has made. And if you're not a person of faith, you might still hold up your arms. The rain makes the flowers grow. And we should all be receptive to small miracles. They can surprise you and save all of us.